Hi there, we're so glad you're joining us today. We're taking you to a place that never stops amazing us, no matter how many times we've seen it. If you're in Milan and feeling the need for a breath of fresh air, a bit of sunshine glistening on the water, and a peaceful walk surrounded by greenery and mountains, this day trip is just what you need. Just an hour from Milan lies Lake Como, a destination that's been inspiring poets, painters, and dreamers for centuries. Nestled in the foothills of the Alps, it stretches out between steep hills like a natural masterpiece, calm, timeless, and full of light. But Como isn't just a lake, it's a feeling. Tucked near the Swiss border, it's the third largest lake in Italy and one of the deepest in Europe, plunging to over 1,300 feet in some areas. For centuries, it was famous for its crystal-clear fish-rich waters that attract both fishermen and nature lovers. Today, while water quality can vary in certain spots, Lake Como still captivates with its dramatic landscapes, peaceful pace, and the timeless charm of the lakeside towns. Getting here from Milan is simple. A direct train from Milano Centrale will get you there in about an hour. And once you arrived, you've got the perfect walking route planned. Easy, scenic, and full of moments you won't forget. Ready for a full day of lakeside Dolce Vita? Up next, strolling through Milan, a one-day trip to Lake Como. We begin our journey at Milano Centrale, one of the grandest train stations in Europe and absolutely worth a visit on its own. Opened in 1931, the station was built as a symbol of Italy's modern power during Mussolini's time. Architecturally, it's a bold mix: classical columns, Art Deco grandeur, intricate mosaics, and fascist-era iconography. Look up, you'll see high vaulted ceilings, mosaics celebrating labor and industry, and sculptures of lions and eagles watching over the crowds. The station was meant to be a temple of movement, a place designed to inspire awe. Today it's a gateway to the north, and our way out of the city into a world of calm, mountains, and deep blue waters. Trains from Milano Centrale to Como or Varenna leaves about every 30 minutes. Tickets cost around €8 and are easy to buy at the station or online. But this time, instead of heading straight to Como, we're going a bit further, to Varenna, a gem on the eastern shore of the lake. The train ride from Milano Centrale to Varenna Asino takes just over an hour, and the views along the way are already worth it. Rolling hills, sleepy towns, and glimpses of the lake as we approach. Once you stepped off the train, everything slows down. Varenna greets you with colorful houses, narrow cobblestone lanes, and a peaceful quiet that feels like exhaling. We begin our day with a short, charming uphill walk to Castello di Vezio, a medieval castle overlooking the town. The path winds through narrow lanes and green hillside trails. It takes about 20–30 minutes to reach the top. Slightly uphill but very manageable, with postcard-worthy views at every turn. The castle itself, it's a hidden gem. Built in the Middle Ages, it once formed part of Lombardy's defensive system. Today, it's known for its stone towers, panoramic terrace, and eerie white ghost sculptures made of gauze, adding a surreal, dreamy atmosphere to the place. From the top, you get one of the best panoramic views of Lake Como, where the lake's famous Y shape stretches out in both directions. It's a spot that invites you to pause, breathe, and take it all in. After soaking in the views, we make our way back down. Past olive trees, warm stone walls, and golden light filtering through the leaves. Time for a proper Italian break, coffee. Varenna has several charming cafes with lake views or tucked into quiet corners. It's the perfect time to sip an espresso or cappuccino, maybe grab a pastry, and just enjoy the moment. Here, no one's in rush, and that's the beauty of it. Just off the main square stands a humble but beautiful church, Chiesa di San Giorgio. Built in the 13th century, it's simple and stone on the outside. But inside, you'll find medieval frescoes, golden altars, and that sacred stillness that can only be found in very old churches. And even if you're not usually drawn to religious buildings, it's worth stepping in for a few quiet minutes for the atmosphere, the light, and history. After coffee and calm, we head down to the waterfront. Where something special awaits. We're boarding a speedboat for a scenic ride across Lake Como, from Varenna to Como. This isn't just transportation, it's a highlight in itself. Along the way, we pass fairy tale villages, hilltop villas, and lush gardens that cascade down to the water. If you have extra time, and that's a big if on a one-day trip, we highly recommend a stop in Bellagio, the pearl of the lake, sitting right where the letter Y of the Lake Como splits. It's full of charm, flowers-filled always, cozy cafes, stairs that climb toward incredible views. But even just sailing past it, the experience is unforgettable. Lake Como is one of Europe's most scenic boat rides. Every view is frame-worthy. We suggest spending the second half of your day in Como, the lake's largest and most sophisticated town. But there's something to keep in mind. The journey from Varenna to Como takes about 1 hour and 10 minutes by speedboat. If you take the regular ferry, which stops at nearly every village along the way, it can take over 2.5 hours. So if you're only doing this trip in one day, plan carefully. The fastboat saves you valuable time to exploring Como, grabbing dinner, or just relaxing. Welcome to Como. Elegant, historic, and filled with that relaxed Italian charm. We start with a stroll along the lakeside promenade, where sailboats bob on the water and the mountains rise in the distance. It's the kind of walk where you don't need a destination, just the breeze, the sound of the waves, and the soft golden light. Our first stop, Tempio Voltiano, a neoclassical memorial to Alessandro Volta, the inventor of the electric battery, born right here in Como. Built in 1927, the museum houses original instruments and documents, but even just seeing the building from the outside, with its lakefront setting, it's worth the pause. From there, we continue walking along the lake toward the striking War Memorial. This concrete tower rises boldly over the shoreline. Designed in the 1930s by modernist architect Giuseppe Terragni, it honors the local soldiers who died in World War I. Brutalist and symbolic. The structure contrasts beautifully with the soft lake light, powerful and surprisingly photogenic. As we finish our walk along the lakeshore, it's worth taking one last look around. Como takes on a special glow at this time of day. And if you look across the bay, you'll spot the distinctive line of the funicolare Como Brunate, the historic cable car that's been running since 1894. In just a few minutes, it climbs to Brunate, offering jaw-dropping views of the entire lake and the town below. It's a great option if you're staying longer or planning a second visit. For now, though, it's time to make our way back. As we slowly head back toward the city, it's worth pausing at one of Como's more recent landmarks, the striking sculpture known as Life Electric. Designed by world-renowned architect Daniel Libeskind, the sculpture is a tribute to Alessandro Volta, the inventor of the electric battery, who was born here in Como. The piece is made up of two symmetrical forms, inspired by the shape of a sine wave. It's a contemporary homage not just to science, but to balance, energy, and the way art can connect people with place. Before we end our day by the lake, we take a moment to explore the heart of the city, the historic center of Como. We arrive at a wide square and a monumental building that immediately catches the eye. The Como Cathedral, or Duomo di Como, dedicated to the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. It's the pride of the city and one of the most beautiful cathedrals in all of Lombardy. Built over the course of nearly 4 centuries, it blends elements of Gothic, Renaissance and Baroque, and its white marble facade glows in the afternoon sun. Inside, you'll find soaring vaulted ceilings, colorful stained glass windows, richly decorated altars, and an impressive dome designed by none other than Filippo Huvara. This is our final stop, one last photo. A final stroll along the pier, and a deep breath before we head back to the rhythm of the city. We change direction and begin walking toward the train station. Along the way, we pass another contemporary installation, Le Mani, two lifelike hands emerging from the ground. The gesture can be interpreted in many ways. As a symbol of openness, the power of human hands, or perhaps even a silent call for attention. The sculpture offers no clear answer, and that's exactly what makes it so moving. We end our journey right where it began, taking the train from Como back to Milan. And while it might be hard to believe, this plan truly takes a full day. From the first espresso in Milan to the castle above Varenna, the boat ride across the lake, the lakeside stroll through Como, the cathedral and the final sculptures. It's a day full of sights, sensations and moments worth savoring slowly. We return to the city a little tired, but definitely happier. There is something truly special about Lake Como. Thank you for joining us on this trip. If you enjoyed the film, leave us a comment, share it with someone who loves Italy, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure. See you on the next trail.